Today, the world's shores are under attack. Armies of aliens are secretly invading our coasts. In the Caspian Sea, swarms of ghostly hunters have contributed to the collapse of entire commercial fisheries. In Europe, armoured invaders are rampaging up rivers and threatening local fish stocks. The largest wetland in the world, the Pantanal, is being infiltrated by a silent killer that could destroy this fragile ecosystem. And throughout the world's oceans, huge blooms of toxic algae are contaminating shellfish, causing thousands of deaths.
One of the big problems with
Good day everyone, I'm Michipan Hibalo Landerby, and as you can see in the first clip of our presentation, meron akong video na nilagay na kung saan ito ay may kaugnayan sa aming topic. And our topic is all about the International Convention for the Control and Management of Ships, Ballast Water, and Sediments, or BWM. Our group will tackle the definition of terms, ballast water exchange and hazard, requirements under the Ballast Water Management Convention, ballast water treatment, and the anti-fouling system. Let's start with the introduction. Invasive aquatic species present a major threat to the marine ecosystem, and shipping has been identified as a major pathway for introducing species to new environment. The problem increased as trade and traffic volume expanded over the last few decades, and in particular with the introduction of steel hulls, allowing vessels to use water instead of solid materials as a ballast. The effects of the introduction of new species have in many areas of the world been devastating. Ang mga mapanganib daw na aquatic species ay nagdadala ng malaking banta sa mga ekosistema ng dagat at ang pagpapadala sa kanila bilang pangunahing daan ng pagpasok ng mga species sa buong kapaligiran. Ang problema ay lumalala habang lumalaki ang kalakalan at dami ng trapiko sa nakaraang ilang dekada. Lalo na sa pagpapakilala ng mga bakal na katawan ng barko na nagpapahintulot sa mga sasakyang pangdagat na gumagamit ng tubig bilang balas sa halip na solidong materyales. Ang mga epekto ng pagpasok ng mga bagong species ay naging napakapinsala sa maraming bahagi ng mundo. Ano nga ba yung invasive species? Ang invasive species ay isang uri ng hayop o halaman na ipinakilala sa isang bagong kapaligiran na hindi likas na tahanan o ito ay isang foreign na species. Karaniwan ang mga species na ito ay nagpapakarami at kumakalat na mabilis na nagdudulot ng mga negatibong epekto sa lokal na ekosistema. Maaari nilang hadlangan ang paglago ng katutubong species o yung mga native na species na taga doon at kumain ng mga ito o magdala ng mga sakit. Ang mga invasive species ay kadalasang nagiging problema sa pamamagitan ng aktibidad ng tao tulad ng kalakalan, pagpapadala ng at agrikultura. Meaning to say, ito yung type ng species na hindi taga doon sa lugar na yon o mga foreign species.
Definition of terms. Ballast water. Ballast water carry the ship ballast tank to improve stability and balance. When a ship take on ballast water, they may also take a various organisms from the environment, which can be harmful if released into a new ecosystem. So, ang tubig na dinala ng ballast tank ng mga barko ay ginagamit upang makabuti ang katatagan at balanse ng mga ito. Ang ballast tanks ay espasyo sa ilalim ng barko na pinupuno ng tubig. At ang mga layunin nito ay bigyan ng karagdagang timbang ang barko, lalo na kapag ito ay walang kargamento. Sa pamamagitan ng paragdag ng tubig sa balas, ang barko ay nagiging mas mabigat sa ibang bahagi na tumutulong upang maiwasan ang pag-ugoy o pag-ikot sa mga alon. Kapag puno ang ballast tank, mas nagiging matatag ang barko na mahalaga sa kaligtasan ng mga tripulante at kargamento. So, sinasabi din sa isa ay naman, kapag kumukuha ka ng ballast water, ang mga barko ay maaari rin silang makakuha ng iba't ibang organismo mula sa kapaligiran. Kung ang mga organismong ito ay lalabas sa mga bagong ekosistema, maaari silang maging mapanganib. Ang mga organismong ito ay tulad ng mga algae, isda, at iba pang mga hayop ay maaaring makambala sa lokal na ekolohiya, magdulot ng sakit o makasira ng mga likas na yaman. Kaya't mahalaga ang tamang pamahala sa balas water upang mapatitili ang balanse ng mga kasama. So, dito naman tayo sa sediments, particles that settle at the bottom of the ballast tanks. Sediments can harbor invasive species or harmful organisms which may pose environment risk if released. So, ang mga particle na bumabagsak sa ilalim ng ballast tanks ay karaniwang mga sediments o dumi na nagmula sa tubig dagat o mga materyales na naipon sa loob ng tangke. Ang mga ballast tank ay ginagamit sa mga barko upang makontrol ang timbang at balance. At habang naroon ang tubig, nagdadala ito ng mga particles mula sa paligiran. Pag ang tubig ay naiwan sa tank, ang mga particles na ito ay nagiging mas mabigat o bumabagsak sa ilalim. Ang pag-accumulate ng mga ito ay maaaring makaapekto sa mga performance ng barko. Kaya mahalaga ang regular na paglilinis ng mga ballast tanks upang matiyak ang maayos na operasyon at kaligtasan ng barko. At ito pang isa, ang mga sediments ay maaaring magtaglay ng mga invasive species o mga mapanganib na organismo na pwedeng makasira sa paligiran kapag nilabas. Kapag ang mga sediments na ito ay dredge o nailipat kasama na ang mga nakatagong organismo, maaari silang kumalat sa ibang lugar at makagambala sa lokal na ekosistema. Kaya mahalaga ang pag-ingat sa mga sediments upang maiwasan ang mga ganitong panganib. So, ito na po ang last, ang invasive species. Invasive species at native organism introduced into new marine environment, potentially causing harm to native ecosystem, economies, or human health. So, ang sinasabi dito, ang mga di katutubong organismo na naipapasok sa mga bagong marine na kapaligiran ay maaaring magdulot ng pinsala sa mga lokal na ekosistema, ekonomiya, or kalusugan ng mga tao. Kapag nagdala ng mga ganitong organismo, maaari silang magkagulo sa balanse ng kalikasan o makasira ng mga natural na tirahan at makakasama sa mga lokal na species. Halimbawa, maaaring mangyari ang labis na pagdami ng mga dayuhang species na nagiging dahilan ng pagkaubos ng mga katutubong isda o iba pang marine life. Ayun lang po. Thank you.
The adoption of Ballast Water Management Convention is on February 13, 2004, and it was entry into force in September 8, 2017. The Ballast Water Management Convention, adopted in 2004, aims to prevent the spread of harmful aquatic organisms from one region or another to another. Ito ay isang paraan kung saan pine-prevent nila or pinipigilan ang pagkalat ng mga aquatic organism na makapaminsala sa iba't ibang lugar. At by establishing standards and procedure for the management and control of ships' ballast water and sediments. In response to the problem, the International Convention for the Control of Management of the Ship's Ballast and Sediments was established to prevent and minimize and ultimately eliminate the risk to biodiversity and environment and human health arising from the transfer of harmful aquatic organism through the improved management of ballast water and sediments. Under the convention, all ships in international traffics are required to manage their ballast water and sediments to a certain standard. According to a ship-specific ballast water management plan, all ships will also have to carry a ballast water record book and an international ballast water management certificate. The ballast water management standard will be phased in over a period of time as an immediate solution. Ships should exchange ballast water mid-ocean. However, eventually most ships will need to install an onboard ballast water treatment system. Ano ba yung ballast water treatment system or BWTS? Ito yung isang uri ng system na nagdi-design upang tanggalin at i-destroy yung biological organism kagaya ng mga algae, bacteria, zooplankton na nasa loob ng ballast water.
The next is Ballast Water Exchange or BWE. BWE is a process where ships discharge ballast water taken on in coastal or port areas and replace it in with open sea water. Usually conducted at least 200 nautical miles offshore in waters over 200 meters deep. The purpose of BWE is to reduce the number of coastal and port organisms present in the ballast water, minimizing the chance that invasive species are transferred when ballast water is discharged in different region. So, ang sabi daw po dito, the ballast water exchange is 200 nautical miles from offshore. So, yung mga local organism like plankton, bacteria, small fish, or other marine species na hindi daw makapasok sa ballast water exchange.
Karagdagan sa mga sinabi ni Shane, may mga methods na ginagamit para sa ballast water exchange at ito ang mga acceptable methods para sa ballast water exchange. Una, flow-through method, dilution method, and the sequential method. Flow-through method, pumping to overflow. A process which replacement ballast water is pumped into the ballast tank, allowing water to flow through, overflow, or other arrangement. At least 3 times the tank volume is to be pumped through the tank. Second method is the dilution method. Dilution method, ballast filled through the top allowing discharge from the bottom. A method which replacement ballast water is filled through the top of the ballast tank with simultaneous discharge from the bottom at the same flow rate and maintaining a constant. And the last method is the sequential method. Each ballast is emptied and refilled. A process which a ballast tank is first emptied and then refilled with replacement ballast water. Efficiency is up to be at least 95 volumetric exchange. And that's the the acceptable methods for ballast water exchange.
The hazards of BWE. Environmental hazards. Unsuccessful removal of all invasive species during exchange may still allow non-native species to enter a new environment. So, yun daw po, yung hazard daw po nun is, pag hindi daw po natanggal lahat ng mga bacteria or small fish or mga iba pa po, pwede daw po silang manirahan doon sa mismong sa BWE or sa ballast water exchange. Sa safety risk of the BWE, BWE can impact the stability of ships due to change in ballast weight distribution, posing risks to vessel safety, especially during rough weather. Yun daw po, pag mag-exchange na po ng ballast water is meron daw po siyang risk na sa ship. Doon nga po, bali po sa sinabi ko kanina na dahil po doon yung weight distribution po sa mismong ship is pwede pong maging at risk pag hindi po maayos na nilagay or mali po yung calculation during the exchange.
Let us now move to the requirements under Ballast Water Management Convention. The BWM Convention outlines several requirements for vessel to control and manage ballast water and sediments. Ballast Water Management Plan. Each vessel must have an IMO approval plan detailing procedure for managing ballast water and sediments. Ballast Water Management Plan was introduced, which was to be used and implemented on board sailing vessel entering international waters. These are the use of Ballast Water Management Plan. International rules and regulation for different ports, state controls all over the world. It has the location of ports providing shore discharge facilities of sediments and ballast water. It also have the duties of the personnel on board for carrying out ballast operation and operational procedure along with the method to be used for ballasting. It also have the location at different coastal waters for ballast exchange should be mentioned in the plan. Sampling the point and treatment method should be given in the Ballast Water Management Plan. Ballast Water Record Book. Ship must maintain a record to log all the ballast water exchanges and discharges for regulatory compliance. Ship must have a ballast water record book, regulation B2, to record when ballast water is taken on board, calculated or treated for ballast water management purposes, and discharged into the sea. It should also record when ballast water is discharged to a reception facility and accidental or other exceptional discharges of ballast water. The specific requirements for ballast water management are contained in Regulation B3, Ballast Water Management for Ships. It also have all data of ballasting and deballasting operation, ballast, water exchange, etc. should be recorded with time and position in the ballast record book. Sediment is cleaned from ballast tanks or chain lockers. This data should also be logged. The date of operation, ship ballast tank used in the operation, temperature of the ballast water, salinity of the ballast water in ppm, and the position of the ship, latitude and longitude. The record book must also have amount of ballast water involved in the operation. All the records entered must be signed by CO, master in overall in charge of the operation, and he will also acknowledge by signing the BMP logbook. It also have the date and identification of the tank last cleaned. Moving on. Ballast Water Exchange Standard D1. Ships should conduct ballast water exchange in deep ocean areas, at least 200 nautical miles from shore, to minimize invasive species transfer. Regulation D1 Ballast Water Exchange Standard is a ship performing ballast water exchange shall do so with an efficiency of 95% volumetric exchange of ballast water. For ship exchanging ballast water by the pumping through method, pumping through 3 times the volume of the ballast water tank shall be considered to meet the standard described. Pumping through less than 3 times the volume may be accepted provided the ship can demonstrate at least 95% volumetric exchange is met. Ballast water treatment standard D2. Ship must treat ballast water using onboard system to ensure discharge water meets specific criteria for organism and pathogens. Regulation D2 is a ship conducting ballast water management shall discharge less than 10 valuable organisms per cubic meter greater than or equal to 50 micrometers in minimum dimension and less than 10 viable organisms per milliliters less than 50 micrometers in minimum dimension and greater than or equal to 10 micrometers in minimum dimension. And discharge of the indicator microbes shall not exceed the specific concentration.
Ballast water treatment. Ballast water treatment involves using an approved treatment system to disinfect or treat ballast water, reducing or eliminating organisms before discharge. Techniques include: first, filtration, physically removing particles, sediment, and larger organisms. Second, ultraviolet UV radiation, inactivating organisms with UV light. Third, chemical treatment, adding chemicals to kill or neutralize organisms. Ballast water treatment refers to the process of cleaning or treating ballast water from ships before it is released into the ocean. Ships take in the ballast water to maintain stability, especially when they are carrying light loads. However, this water often contains various microorganisms, small plants, and animals from its original location, which can cause ecological harm if released into a different environment. The purpose of ballast water treatment. The purpose of ballast water treatment is to prevent the spread of invasive aquatic species across ecosystem. Ships take in ballast water to maintain stability, but this water often contains marine organisms, pathogens, and other particles from the source region. When discharged in a different location, these non-native species can disrupt local ecosystem, damage infrastructure, threaten biodiversity, and impact fisheries. To mitigate this risk, ballast water treatment systems are used to remove or neutralize organisms before discharge. In compliance with the International Maritime Organizations or IMO Ballast Water Management Convention, this helps protect marine ecosystem and promote sustainable shipping practices. Here are some common treatment methods. Number 1, filtration. This method uses physically filter to remove larger particles and organisms from the ballast water. Filters are often combined with other treatment methods to enhance effectiveness. For example, fine mesh. Filters used in filtration system remove organisms larger than 50 microns. Ocean Saver, BWTS. For example, uses filtration before chemical or UV treatment. Number 2, chemical disinfection. Chemicals such as chlorine or ozone are used to kill microorganisms in the ballast water. The chemicals must be neutralized to prevent harm when the water is discharged. For example, EcoChlor uses chlorine dioxide as disinfectant. It effectively neutralizes organisms without the need for post-treatment, as it dissipates naturally over time. Number 3. Ultraviolet UV treatment. UV light is used to inactivate microorganisms by damaging their DNA, rendering them unable to reproduce. This method is often used in combination with filtration. For example, Alpha Label's Pure Ballast system combines filtration with UV treatment to naturalize organisms effectively without adding chemicals. Number 4. Electrochlorination. Salt water is treated with an electrical current, producing hypochlorite, a disinfectant on board. Disinfectant is then used to treat the ballast water. For example, Houston uses electrochlorination, generating chlorine on board to treat ballast water effectively. Without treatment, ballast water can introduce invasive species that disrupt local ecosystem, harm native species, and damage fishing and tourism industries. To prevent this, ships use ballast water treatment systems that remove or neutralize organisms in the water.
Good day everyone. I'm Midshipman De La Cruz Aldrin B. I'm going to explain what is anti-fouling system. Anti-fouling system. Anti-fouling system, a protective coating applied to ship hulls to prevent marine organisms like barnacles from attaching. Anti-fouling reduce fuel consumption and minimizes the transfer of invasive species on ship hulls. Ang anti-fouling system daw ay isang teknolohiya o pamamaraan ng pangunahing ginagamit sa industriya ng maritime upang maiwasan ang pagbuo ng mga hindi kanais-nais na organismo tulad ng barnacles at iba pang lamang dagat sa mga bahagi ng mga barko at istruktura na sa ilalim ng tubig. Ang fouling daw ay maaring makapinsala sa pagganap, kahusayan at habang buhay ng mga sasakyang pandagat at istruktura na nagre-resulta sa pagtaas ng pagkonsumo ng mga gasolina. The International Convention on the Control of Harmful Anti-Fouling System on Ship AFS Convention regulates the types of anti-fouling coatings, banning toxic substances such as tributyltin and requiring environmentally safe alternatives. This supports the BMW Convention by limiting potential invasive species on vessel surfaces. Anti-fouling systems are crucial for maintaining the efficiency of maritime vessels, reducing operational costs, and ensuring compliance with the environmental regulations. By preventing biofouling, ships can maintain better fuel efficiency and reduce greenhouse gas emission, contributing to a more sustainable maritime industry. Anti-fouling systems play a vital role in the maritime sector by preventing the unwanted growth of maritime organisms on ships and structures. The ongoing evolution of these systems reflect the industry's commitment to balancing operational efficiency with the environmentally stewardship.